Hello and welcome to Healy Fit. Today I have a gentle yoga practice for you that will incorporate some shoulder stretches to reduce tightness and increase mobility. So when you're ready, go ahead, come on down to the floor, and we're going to start in a child's pose position. So from kneeling, extend your arms out to the front edge of the mat. Shift your hips back toward your heels. Take a few long, deep breaths. As your lungs expand along the back edge of your body, feel your shoulders unfold along the edges of your back. Allow each breath to soften the muscles in the upper back. Allow your forehead to drop a bit closer to the mat. Allow your hips to sink closer to your heels. On your next breath, inhale, lift up. Shift your right arm underneath your left arm and left leg. Shift your whole body a little bit closer to the right side. Left arm extends all the way out to the front. And just breathe across that right shoulder. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to sweep that left hand underneath right arm and right leg. Shift the whole body a little bit closer to the left. Hips back to your level, whatever feels right for you. So they can be up above the knees, or hips can be down towards the heels. Every breath, allow your body to sink a bit further into the stretch and release. Next breath, inhale, rise up. And let's come into all fours. From here, we'll go through a few rounds of Marjaryasana to Bittilasana, your cat to cow poses. As you drop down into cow, lift the head, look through the eyebrows towards the sky, and then arch up into cat, tuck the belly in and back, allow the head to fall. Good, continue a few more rounds. Feel that stretch around the front and then the back side of the body. So releasing, pulling the shoulders back towards the hips. Scooping upward, feeling that separation of shoulders from spine. Go ahead, pull shoulders back towards the hips. And now let's set into our tabletop position. Bring one arm out, one leg up. So here we've got reaching. Left arm, right leg. Now try to reach hand to opposite foot. Finding your balance and stability. One arm, one leg, each carrying equal pressure. Now the leg, top of foot, is pulling the shoulder back while the hand is pulling the knee up. Let's switch sides. Rounding up into cat and then down into cow. Using a few rounds to again stretch into the front and back of the body. Slowly coming back into tabletop. Let's extend that right arm, left leg, or whichever leg you did not do before. Opposite counterparts reaching forward and back into your bird dog, challenging your balance and stability, but also challenging that range of motion. So try to reach your fingers as far forward towards the front edge of your mat or beyond, and then pull back, reaching for the top of the foot, allowing the foot to draw the shoulder back as you use the hand to lift the heel up. Eye gaze down towards the front center of your mat, keeping your balance and stability and neck alignment as we go into this backward arch. As you release the foot, walk the hands one step further forward. Come into a kneeling plank and come on down to the floor. From here, we're going to set up into Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders, pull the chest through. Belly button pulled in towards spine, looking up through the eyebrows towards the sky. Good. Big, deep inhale. Big, deep exhale. And we're going to set up, reaching the left hand down to the mat. Right hand reaches out to the side. We're going to pivot, pivot, pivot as far as feels good for you. You're going to feel this stretch along the right shoulder. Good. The front deltoid into the chest area. So continue to push into that left hand just lightly, just gently, until you feel the stretch across the shoulder. And then kind of push that edge. Let's take hand towards foot. So again, going into that same pose here without the balance. Option, lift your body up. Option, tuck your toes in or point them up, whatever feels right for you. As you release right hand from right foot, let's go ahead, slowly transition. All right, so that right hand pushing into the mat, left shoulder down, pivoting the body, feeling that stretch across the front of our left shoulder. Exhale back through center. Right hand under the chin. Left hand back towards that left foot. Chin down towards the hand or rising up. Exhale, release back down to the mat. Both hands kind of right behind the shoulders so we can push up, press back, and find our child's pose position once again. All right, so from those backward bends into this forward fold, allow your body to sink towards the mat. Hips falling towards the heels, breathing across the shoulders, extending the arms. Now we might bring the arms a little bit further across the outer edges of the mat here. Take some of the pressure out of the shoulders as we reach forward. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, down to the mat. Let's bring both feet in this time. Coming into your bow pose. Now you're going to lift up to your level, your edge, trying to bring the heels over the knees, maybe lifting the knees up from the mat, pulling the shoulders back, and release. Go ahead, slowly push up, knees under hips, and then we shift back into this seated position. Now you're welcome to come into kneeling if this is uncomfortable, or you can take a seated position instead. We're going to pull the right arm across, left hand grabs above or below the elbow, and while we're there, circle through the wrist. Go ahead, taking it in each direction. Just noticing any tightness or tension that you're holding on to. Now pump the fingers out and in a few times. And as you release that stretch, we're going to wrap the arm around the back, reaching for opposite thigh. Inhale up, exhale, pivot. As you pivot, pull the back shoulder as far back as feels right for you. And then release that hand down to the floor. Go ahead, so right hand down, left hand up and over, light backward lean. Now, anytime we come into a backward lean, it's a really good idea to use your bandhas, your binds, to protect neck, low back. All right, so let's do those same stretches on this side. So those bandhas or binds I was talking about, tongue to roof of mouth, belly button pulled towards spine, and then pelvic floor pulled up and in. So we'll make sure we try that on the other side. All right, spread the fingers out and in a few times. And as you release, we pivot the arm around, try to reach for the opposite thigh, and then twist the whole body back and around, looking over the back shoulder. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Strong, deep breaths in and out. Releasing the hand down to the mat, light pivot of the fingertips towards the back. As we lean into this backward bend, tongue to roof of mouth, belly button pulled towards spine, pelvic floor pulled up and in. Just reach the arm up and back as far as feels right for you. Exhale. Let's release both arms out to the front, cross wrist over wrist, sink into your back. So pull your chest back through your shoulders as you reach your arms out to the front. Sink your belly button in towards your spine. Good. Now slowly open, 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 elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, pressing the backs of the hands, the forearms, and elbows towards the back of the room to really get that opening across the collarbone. From here, let's extend both legs out towards the front, feet about mat distance apart, and let's roll into the shoulders a few times. Good, just taking them up, down, and back, working through that full circle. Now that we've found a little bit more mobility and stretch into the shoulders, let's work them at the full round. Awesome. Now let's take those arms, reaching out towards the right leg. Arms crossing over one another at the wrist again. Drop your chin down towards your front knee. Again, breathing across those shoulders into the back. Allow the elbows to fold. Kind of drawing your chest down towards your thigh with each deep breath that you take. Now we're going to reach right arm towards left leg, left arm up and over the body, reaching out towards the right toes into this short stance gate pose. Good, so that right elbow, push it in towards the inner thigh a little bit. There we go. And now let's go into that backward bend again, this time supported onto the elbow. See if we can go a little bit deeper. Now here's where it's going to be more imperative. Tongue to roof of mouth, belly button towards spine. Pelvic floor pulled up and in. Good, all of them protecting the neck and low back. Exhale, release. And let's walk down that left leg, crossing at the wrists. Your hands are either on thigh, shin, or wrapped around the bottom of the foot. Each exhale, pulling the elbows out to the sides. And dropping the body just a bit closer towards the thigh. Inhale, reach through, up and over into the short stance gate pose. Good, so now left elbow pushed into left inner thigh. Right arm reaching up and over toward the left toes, making connection if you can, leaning in that direction. Now, as you release, hand to hip, drop into the elbow, reaching that left hand up and back. Tongue to roof of mouth, belly button to spine, pelvic floor pulled up and in. Awesome. Now let's walk forward, reaching hands towards heels. Option, feet come out a bit wider. Good. Now you can sink down to your hands, to your elbows, or if you're bendier, coming down all the way to the chest. Every exhale is an opportunity to deepen the stretch, to take yourself a bit lower, and to feel more length into the back, into the shoulders, and maybe into the inner thighs as well. One more breath, and then slowly walk yourself back. Bring both heels in together, light outward turn of the toes, hands by your hips. Let's come into this fish pose modification. So elbows under, lift the chest, broaden the collarbone, let the head fall back. Again, engaging our bandhas so that we protect the neck and low back as we lean. Good. Now we want to keep the chest harnessed towards the sky as we lean back. Go ahead, feeling length along the collarbone. Stretch across those front shoulders. Now let's walk the elbows out to the sides, coming all the way down to the mat. Crossing the arms into eagle arms, so either backs of the hands or palms pressed to one another. Lift the elbows up as high as you can, trying to touch the mat behind your head. This is a great stretch for the top arm. So here I've got my right arm wrapped on top of my left. Exhale, bring elbows back down towards chest. Walk the heels in, drop them down, and then reach the arms opposite. Good, so knees over to the left side of the mat, arms over to the right, feeling that stretch across the diagonal. Outer thigh, outer hip, outer edge of the abdominals into the chest and shoulder. Inhale, transition. Knees bent or legs extended, whatever feels right for you. Different arm underneath, so here, left arm. Wrapping the arms around one another, lift them up to your edge. We want to feel that stretch along the shoulder line into the back body. Good, breathe. From eagle arms, walk the heels in. Reach the arms left, drop the knees right, or whatever direction you did not go last time is the direction you're going this time. Good, feel that stretch along the diagonal from shoulder all the way down through the outer obliques, outer glutes, to the abductors, the outer thighs. Inhale, transition back through center. Hands reach towards heels. Drive the heels into the floor, slowly bridge up. Now roll the shoulders underneath of the chest. Expand along the collarbone. Push the back of the head into the floor, elongate through the throat, so we've got plenty of room for each breath as we bridge upward. Good. Use the strength of your glutes, of your hamstrings, to hold that drive up just a few seconds longer. Another backward bend here. So navel towards spine, pelvic floor pulled up and in. Exhale down to your mat. One hand to belly, one hand to heart, knees folded, or maybe legs extended, whatever feels right for you. Take a few moments here to connect with your breath. Notice the rise of the chest, the expansion of the abdomen, and then the subsequent fall and softening of the body down towards the mat. Now, as you breathe here, I'm going to leave you with this quote from Jessie Golden. When you love yourself, you glow from the inside out. And so as you breathe, I want you to imagine that glow expanding. So maybe it starts in the belly, just a light flicker. Inhaling and exhaling, we see that flicker of light expand. We feel the warmth of its glow emanating up to the chest and then down towards the thighs. Another deep inhale and out. We feel that outer band start to expand all the way up to the shoulders, out to the arms, into the hands, out through the fingertips. We see the band expand all the way down to the toes. And now, all the way up to the crown of the head. When you love yourself, you glow from the inside out. Feel that glow, its warmth, its brightness. Start to penetrate all the way out to those around you. You might take a moment of loving kindness for yourself, for those near you, and maybe even spread that loving kindness out all the way to your community and beyond. These next few moments are all yours to relish in that loving kindness, in that warm glow that you have created. Now let's slowly begin to make our way back to the mat. Drawing our knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your legs and gently sway the body side to side. Take note of how you're feeling in this moment, the sensations in the room or the space around you. And then go ahead, roll over to the side. Come into whatever seated position you prefer. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Take one wrist at a time. Lengthen all the way from your fingertips down to your shoulders. From your shoulders down to your hips. Interlace the fingers, press them all the way up, light backward bend, and then exhale into a forward fold. Arms to the front, chest pulled back through the shoulders. Inhale, open wide, elbow to elbow like you've just woken up for the first time today. Reach those arms all the way out, and you deserve a big hug. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Until next time, take care and be well.